Good morning, it's Pam, Flower Patch Farmhouse, and we are starting our video tour on June, I think it's the 19th, it's Tuesday, June 19th. And I had to move a bunch of stuff last week over here and put it into watering troughs so that it could be bottom watered. We were gone for a few days and I didn't want anything to dry out and croak that I have in pots. So that's why that's extra built up with pots and stuff. And here is my veggie garden, and I had to replant my green bean seeds and cucumber seeds. The blue jays nipped them off, so I'm hoping they will come up. We had a cool down over the weekend. It got pretty chilly, and so they're not sprouting yet. Here is my clematis that I got to climb the back fence, and it's an evergreen clematis. So we'll see how it does here. It's sitting in this pot down here, so it didn't dry out too. So lots going on back here. My tomatoes are coming up pretty good, keeping them watered well. More pumpkins I have to move. Where I'm going to move them to, I don't know. So let me show you. Here's my foxgloves, not foxgloves, these are my, can't think of them right now, real tall cottage flower, but along my back fence, I have this climbing rose. It's a miniature or small blooming rose, and this one, I think it's called 16 Candles. I'm not sure. Either that one is or this one over here. I think this one might be it, because you notice how there's a bazillion buds on one. So that might be the 16 Candles. I'll have to look up what my other one is over there. That's a brighter pink. But this is along my back deck, the bottom of my back deck. We have lattice to hide all the clutter that's underneath the deck. The foxgloves are getting near the end of their bloom. I'll let a few of them go to seed, but the rest I will cut down near the base, and they will bloom again in fall when it cools down. So I'll get a double bloom out of them. I wanted to come around here and welcome you to my poppy field. Just tons. These all reseeded themselves from last year, and they're even coming up in areas I really don't want them. And I'm going to have to get tough and pull them out. I was going to let some bloom, get some seeds from them, and then pull them up and make room for the other things that are actually down in there at the base that I had planted to grow. So that's along my back fence. That's where I want to put the clematis, but I want to put up a more solid fence soon. So here's my poppy field in my back garden from another angle. We're walking along, and my iris, there's plenty still blooming. See if I can get that to come into. Coming towards the studio, there's my bench. This is the barrel or tub I had my solar fountain in. I had to use that to keep my chickens watered while we were gone. So now I need to refill it and get my fountain back out here. And I had clustered all these pots down here together, full of geraniums and coleus and some begonias. Most of my begonias, I think, are the pink and white ones. I do have a few red that I overwintered in my greenhouse, and they're coming back. So lots of things filling in as other things fade away. My pear tree there that is covering my tree peony is loaded with pears. This is the first year I've got more than a couple on it, and we'll see if I get them before the deer do. So this is going up alongside my side garden. All those larkspurs are they're too big. I'm going to have to take the majority of them out because they are obscuring some roses I have in there. There is my Tess d'Iberville rose It's a David Austin rose. This thing will bloom nonstop all summer. It's a beautiful red, very thick and healthy, and it's climbing on the obelisk that my husband and I built. And there's a plan for it here on the website. Okay, this is the roadside of my side garden, and here is my bowl of beauty peony, and it's got quite a few buds on it. One has already faded away. I need to trim that back, but I just love it. I need to get some more peonies from neighbors. I have neighbors who have peonies that were planted back in the 30s here, and they flourish. And there is my David Austin Abraham Darby rose, and a bee that's enjoying itself this morning. He's out early. It's still a little cool. And my other two roses that are climbing my porch posts. One is Zephyrin Drone, and the other one there, that one there is Dream Weaver. They're both pretty pink and bloom all summer as well, as long as I keep them deadheaded. Down here along the edge of this bed, along the road, I have lime thyme that I'm using kind of as an edging. I had wanted to use this white rose. It's a climber rose, not a climber, but a ground cover. And I can still do it. I need to train it along. I need to put some posts in the ground and train it along them, and it'll make like a hedging. Here is my Roseanne hardy geranium. This one is a hardy geranium that lives, or blooms I should say, all summer long. Others will bloom in the spring and then not bloom a lot, but this one continues to bloom. Some gaillardias. These will also bloom all summer. Very hardy, drought tolerant, and they bloom in the brightest colors. And look, right here. My new roses are budding out. These are the Bosco Bells, so we'll see how they turn out. I need to trim back that lupin. It's done blooming, and it's kind of covering over one of the bushes, the rose bushes, so I need to get that out of there. And that is my side garden that goes down to my studio. I need to trim back many of the iris. Some of them even need to be divided. And here's the side garden over here next to the house. And the pathway needs to be cleared again. I had done it once with the weed eater, and it's filled back in, and I haven't had a chance. I ran out of string, and I keep forgetting to order it for my weed eater. This is my Candyland rose. It's a pink and white striped. It's a pretty healthy variety too. And over there is Happy Chappy. That is a ground cover rose, and it blooms in so many different colors all summer long. Lots going on up there. The lupins are just finishing up. The oranges, lemons, gaillardia is blooming. And here, I wanted to show you this iris really quick. This is called Purple People Eater. And what's so interesting, I don't know if you can see these little horns that stick up off the falls, are called horns. And it's really kind of cool looking. I think that's why I bought the thing. Other than it does really have cool coloration too. Here is my Eden, and it is full of blooms. That's the one side. And over here is the one that I started from that rose on the other side. This one, I did it by air layering, which I have a post on, and it worked very well. This plant is 2 years old. I think it's 2 years old, and look how tall it is already and doing great. And this is the far side of the front garden where I said I was taking these plants out to fix this rock wall in the back. Can you see the rock wall there? I guess you can see it over there towards the left. Well, it goes all along the front here, and it holds up the driveway. I wouldn't say it holds it up, but it holds the dirt up between the driveway and this lower bed, and it's crumbling. So I'm digging out the plants here in this lower bed so that we can get that repaired properly. I have stacked a few stackable things. Whoops, I'm tripping over a stone here. And so I'm actually getting to it. So I've got about 4 feet cleared, and you can see the drip hoses that I have there dripping away for this morning. Here's an echinacea that's getting ready to bloom. I don't know if this is the white swan or if this is the purple one. I think that's the purple one. My white one is down there. And this is my golden celebration rose. Oh, I'm going to show you those dang little beetles that are eating my roses. Can you see that? It's not coming into focus, but one moment while I get rid of him. And there is another hardy geranium. This one is called Tiny Monster, and it also will bloom. This one is kind of obscuring my rose, so I dug up part of it already and transplanted it, which is doing great in the other spot. And now the rest of it I need to dig up. I wanted it, which I probably said in a previous video. No. So behind it is my Darcy Bucelle rose. It also has gotten nibbled on by the beetles. I need to trim that one back too, so it'll rebloom quickly. And my other red one, which it's bloomed once, but it will bloom again, is my LD Braithwaite. These are both David Austin roses as well. Here is my petal pusher. These are miniature roses or smaller roses, and they also bloom all summer long. When it's hotter, they're a lighter pink, and when it's cooler, they're a darker pink, but they just bloom well into fall, nearly winter. And they're about 3 feet tall, maybe 2 feet tall, and just make a great plant for that edge of that rock wall. Another rose. This is another ground cover rose that is not finally, but is blooming. Now I'm not sure what this one is called. It was given to me. This thing roots very, very easy. Wherever a cane touches the ground, it will root. This is basically one rose, and it goes probably about 10 feet over there. I trained it along posts, so it would just go along the wall and not encroach into the flower bed behind it.